Good morning and welcome to Paul T's World. It's a glorious day. I don't know what the temperature is, but we'll have a look outside. I've got a thermometer outside. It's so lovely today that I thought we would just have a little walk around the garden. So come along with me and let's see what we see. As you can hear, it's quite a blustery day today, but it's gorgeous. The wind is so warm. And let's just come round here now and see what the temperature is. So what have we got here? It is 60 Fahrenheit. Just beautiful, just absolutely gorgeous. So let's see what we can see today. We'll start off by having a little look at the pond. I've seen the first couple of newts today. I've planted some new plants in here. One is hornwort, which is a British native plant. So the hornwort is ideal for the newts to lay their eggs on. It's got nice leaves that they like to wrap around their eggs. And behind the pond, we've got the willow, the Japanese willow, just coming into flower. My yew that seeded itself, and it's growing. How tall is it now? It must be, oh, I don't know, 12, 15 feet high. Behind the pond, we've got the foxgloves and what I'm now calling the little woodland area, even though there's no real trees there. But I'm planting all the woodland plants such as foxgloves, hellebores, lords and ladies, lily of the valley. And in front of that is the weigela. This one is the ruby red. It's got its lovely growth starting. Behind that we can just see the yellow loosestrife is already growing quite strongly. I've got the purple loosestrife here, which I can't see coming up at all yet, but I hope it does because I really like that purple loosestrife. Just moving back to the pond, the marsh marigolds are starting up. They'll be in flower in a couple of weeks. This bed here, new planting, are the alliums. So I planted some allium bulbs last autumn. The lovely peony that came from a nice neighbour. That's a lovely red peony, gorgeous. And of course I've got this lined with London Pride. If you remember the, what was it called, the moonrise, dahlia is here. And here it is. I don't lift my dahlias, I leave them there. We'll see when they start coming up. I've moved, which I'll show in another video, I've moved a hydrangea, that's the Black Prince. It's in a new bed, an empty bed that I'll be showing you. Let's move over to one of my favourites here. This is the Himalayan honeysuckle. I've cut it back quite a bit this last autumn, and it's starting with its new leaves now. Behind that is a Philadelphus, the crabapple, and a plum tree. And one of my best weigelas, this one is the white one. It's the first to flower and it's growing beautifully. I had some rhubarb in here which I dug out, but it looks as though I didn't dig it all out. I've been buying some wood chips from a local tree surgeon. As fast as I put them on the beds, the blackbirds turf them back out looking for worms underneath. But it does give a nicer look when you've got some wood chip rather than the bare earth. the honeysuckle on the shed. In fact, it's got its first little flowers starting there. They'll be opening soon. The Chinese Virginia creeper is rather later, although it's got some buds. And the climbing hydrangea along the shed is doing well this year. It'd be lovely if it flowered, but it hasn't flowered yet. Another empty bed. I emptied this bed, and I'll be showing you that in another video where you can see me build up over the year a new bed. Really exciting. I've got the black lace elderflower here. It doesn't do very well because I don't give it enough food and water, but I'm determined to this year. Behind my really wild hedge, I've got all these cuttings that I'm going to shred. And I've got my compost bin at the back and the leaf mold, and we'll have a look at the leaf mold in another video. The archway could do with being sanded back and repainted. I made a mistake here. When I bought this arch, I looked for paint which was for planed wood. And in actual fact, I should have got stain, because what happens with this is moisture gets behind the paint and rots it from behind. So I should have stained it. And I had that painted. I've painted it a number of times, and I actually had two guys come in and paint it properly 2 years ago, and look at it already. The snowdrops have been transplanted. Now they're in the green. Good time to transplant snowdrops, so I want snowdrops all the way round here. Now, what's interesting here, let me just get my shadow out of the way a little. No, I can't. Here, these have just been transplanted in the last day. Now you can see how snowdrops spread. Oh, it's just got a little bit of a root on it. There we are. There's its seed, and it just drops them nearby. Fabulous. So those will colonize this whole area. So they flower here in February. Little forsythia at the back here. I can hear robins singing in the magnolia tree. This ceanothus is doing quite well. It's shaded a little bit by the apple tree, but it'll flower. And what we've got here next to it, these are seedlings from the laburnum. So I'm going to dig those up, and I'm going to put one along the arch so it grows up the arch, which will be quite nice. And here is the well, here are the two laburnums that also came from seedlings a few years ago. Various seeds and bought plants and rescued plants along here. Oh, and the lilies. There are the lilies. I had wire over them, chicken wire, to stop the squirrels from digging the bulbs up this year. I've just taken them off now as they were growing through the wire. Just moving over to this bed here. This is the dahlia bed, and I'm going to dig a lot of this lawn up to increase the size of the dahlia bed. We've got all the dahlias still in the ground here. There's a big one there. Behind there's the Mahonia. It flowered beautifully this winter. I've cut all the rosettes off to get it to branch up a little bit. Oh yes, and remember this flowering currant. It died on me. Well, most of it did, but we can see there are some areas here that stayed alive. And what I've done is I've transplanted a Clematis montana. Did that yesterday, and I'm wanting that to grow up these bare stems. Another thing I want to show you back at the archway, oh, it's really windy but lovely warm wind, is a climbing rose that hasn't done well at all, Masquerade. So I've transplanted it, and here it is. So I decided where it was by the magnolia tree. It just hasn't been doing well, so I'm going to get it to climb up this archway. In fact, let's just walk over and see where I dug it from. The daylilies are coming along. They do spread, so I have dug them out from along here because I don't want them to encroach on this smoke bush. And behind we've got all the snowdrops. These were transplanted into this bed about 3 years ago from behind the hedge because they grow wild here. But we can't see them too well, so I transplant them into other parts of the garden. Here's the magnolia tree. And here's where I had the climbing rose, but it just didn't like it there. Maybe there wasn't enough moisture because of this tree. There are some heuchera here, which did beautifully this summer. I want to learn how to deal with these heuchera because I feel they can look a mess, particularly the darker coloured ones. Oh, look at all these seedlings of the hellebores. And the lace cap hydrangea that I pruned in another video a few weeks ago. It's putting on a lot of growth. And the camellia that featured in the March tour. Still got plenty of flowers. Bumblebees have enjoyed these flowers. And let's just have a look at the roses that are in the pot. This is the Rambling Rector, white Rambling Rector. I've still got to feed all these roses that are around the pergola. I'll do it in exactly the same way as the climbing roses that I did in the video last week, where I put the manure, where I dug out a few inches from the top of the pot and replaced it with fresh manure. So I will be doing that here for the Rambling Rector and for the Clematis montana here and the other pots. The other job I've got to do are these acers. I want to refresh the pots. It really makes a difference. It's been in that pot for a number of years. I don't have a bigger pot, so what I'll have to do is take it out, remove some of the soil and refresh with ericaceous compost. And as you can see with this, now what's it called? Crimson Queen. This is a Crimson Queen azalea. Thank you, Una, for letting me know that. And as you can see here, some of the branches, twigs are dead, they're white. So I'm going to go all the way round this. In fact, it's the ones underneath a little bit, isn't it? I'm going to go all the way around this and take them off. Looks like a lot of it has died off, and indeed each year a fair bit dies off. But then we have new growth and it will be a gorgeous red later on in the year. Traditionally, April is sunshine and showers, and that's what we've been getting. Plenty of sunshine with showers in between. The temperatures have now warmed up. Oh, that wind is really coming now. So we do get the windy weather in April as well. Wind, rain, sunshine, and some warmth. It's now, what, 60 degrees was it, Fahrenheit, 15 centigrade. It's gorgeous outside, really nice to work in the garden in these temperatures. I love it. So that's a quick look round the back garden right at the end of March, and I'll see you next time in Paul T's World. Bye.